Uh, I see many comment in the chat, and I think Muslims, they are trying to promote themselves. So they come to us and they say this guy, his name is Andrew Tate. He converted to Islam, and as I understand, this guy, he is a pimp. He used to have, I don't know if he still have it or not, porn website. And he said this guy, he helped him. I don't know how a person like this can help you. It's very, very, very funny to see somebody, his faith is affected by somebody is a pimp converted to Islam. And this pimp, he will have influence on people. Now, today we have a Muslim, and this Muslim, like, he's acting like he's a hero, and Christian Prince is not answering him. His name is Ghazi Rahman. And Ghazi, he's asking me actually to debate his sisters who don't dare even to give me their Skype to call them. They have beards, but those beard, they are just beard, They don't dare to give me their Skype to call them, and they don't dare to call me. And he is saying, well, they need a moderator. Look like they need a column to hide behind. Well, Ghazi, I have a solution for this. You can bring all your sisters who have beards, and I will make you the moderator. I mean, you hate me, don't you? So can we find better moderator than you? You will be the moderator. But be careful. You will get a lot of bunches between. So look what he said. Hello, Christian Prince. Finally blocked up the courage to respond to me. Hey, by the way, Abdul, Potato, my Skype is open. If you are really a man, not a son of muta, then be the man and let's see who have the courage. Call me. But you are not a man, you are just a text terrorist. So my question is, if Jesus was God, then why did he need to eat? That's a good question, Well, I will go with you. The one who needs something, he cannot be God. Is that fair, guys? I will use their logic. Remember this carefully. The one who needs something, he cannot be God. If we ask the Muhammadan, can Islam exist without Prophet Muhammad? They will say no. Okay, does that mean Allah, he need Muhammad? Yes. Well, that means Allah is not God, because Allah, he need to feed in Muhammad in order to grow. Do Allah need to have angels? Yes. Are you sure? No. Come on. Yes. Okay, do Allah need to have a chair? Well, Allah have a chair because he like to have a chair. So is that because he need it or just he like it? Oh no, just he like it. Well, I don't know. Look like your God Allah is very weird, because he in the Quran said that he created the chair for the sake of Muhammad. And if not Muhammad, will not create anything. So the purpose of all creation is Muhammad, and the hadith is so clear. So Allah, he needed Muhammad in order to create anything, because everything is created for the sake of Muhammad. Allah is so lonely. Allah is not God. Allah needed Muhammad. It's not Muhammad who needed Allah. It's the opposite. Do Allah need Jibreel? If you say no, then why Allah did not send his message to Muhammad without Jibreel? Do Allah need hands and fingers and legs? If you say no, then why Allah have hands, 2 hands, and why he have fingers, 5 fingers in each, and why he have toes, and why he have nose, and why he have face, and why he have shoulders, and why he have a shin? If you say he do not need them, then those are useless. And that's mean if Allah's hands are useless, so why they are there? The Quran says that Allah created Adam by his hands. So do Allah need hands? Obviously yes. Why? Because without his hands, he cannot create Adam. Let us go to the Quran so we can love together. This is the yellow pages of Muhammad, the most laughable, from the most obvious false prophet. He says, let us switch to Arabic. How Allah created Adam? He created Adam by his two hands. Oh Iblis, Allah speaking to Iblis. And the funny is, by the way, that Allah, he is willing to speak to Iblis, which is Shaitan, but he never spoke to Muhammad. I mean, this guy, he created the whole universe for Muhammad, yet he didn't want to speak to Muhammad. But he is willing to speak to Shaitan and have a nice coffee with him. So he said to him, what keeps you from prostrating before that which I have created with my own two hands? And you know, I like it when the Muslim between two brackets, they say my owns, because maybe they thought somebody would think that Allah is borrowing hands. I mean, why you are putting the word own? As long as it says my hands, it's mean his hands. And here in the Quran, it says my two hands. So I'm going with your comment that the one who needs something, he cannot be God. And you Muslim, you say, actually other verse in the Quran says, if Allah wanted to something to happen, he said to him or to it, be and be, or be and it's going to be. And actually, that was given as example about Jesus and Adam. The city Allah, he said that Isa and Adam, they are similar. Allah, he said to them both, be, and he was. But just this verse here, it says Allah created Adam by his two hands. So Allah said to Adam, be, and he was, before he used his hands or after he used his hands. If you say to me before he used his hand, then why is using the hands? If you say to me after he used his hands, then what the point of saying be if nothing happened? See, we are just using your stupid logic. And here it says, you are arrogant, or you are one of the exalted ones. So Allah is not sure. Hey, it's Iblis, are you arrogant? Which is proving again that neither Allah or Muhammad have a brain. Allah, he ordered the angels to bow down to Adam. Allah, he ordered what? Allah, he ordered the angels to bow down to Adam. Yet he is upset from Satan, and Satan in Islam is not a fallen angel. Satan in Islam is a genie. If we go here again in the funny cartoonic book of Allah, we will see try not to laugh when you read this, you know. Again, my Skype is open. If there is any Muslim have the courage and the knowledge, and he don't mind his nose to grow calling me. Allah, he said to the angels, I'm going to create a creature, a man, from sounding clay. So Allah, did he say be and he was? No, the verse says Allah, he used his hand. Then, okay, after he mixes a clay, so he modeled the clay. Why Allah needed clay to create Adam? I mean, I'm just using your logic. I mean, can't Allah says be Adam and Adam will be? Any Muhammadan can explain to us? This is not my logic, by the way. I'm using your logic. Your logic is, if Jesus eat food, that's mean he need. Well, do Allah need hands to create Adam? Do Allah need clay to create Adam? He need to mix dirt with water? Do he need any of those material? And then Allah did not say to Adam, be and he was, as the other verse says. As you see here, Allah, he molded, he shaped clay of a man, and then he left it, according to Muhammad, for 40 years as a clay to dry, because Allah, he don't have here a dryer. And looked like it was an ice age at that time, so it took long time. And then after we fashioned him, And when I have fashioned him in due proportion between two brackets, and breathe into him of my spirit. Question: why do Allah need, I'm using your statement, not my statement, this is not my question, why Allah need to breathe into Adam in order for Adam to be a living person? Remember, you are the one who said that if Jesus eat food, that's mean he needs. So the point is need. Doesn't matter what you do. Anything is about need. It cannot be for God. Now, when the Muslims, they say that their God don't eat, well, and he cannot eat, that's mean he is what? An idol? Angels in the Quran, they don't eat. I'm just using your logic. According to you, the one who need food, only that person is God. All right. So, according to the Quran, in the chapter of Hud, verse number 69 and 70, I think 70, let us go to the yellow page of Muhammad again. The angels did not eat. Abraham, which Muhammad sometimes call him Ibrahim, and the Muslim, they fixed that, by the way. They took the Abraham from the Quran, and now they have only Ibrahim. Let's see here. Let us go to chapter 11. In chapter 11, verse number 69, verse number 70, Abraham, aka Ibrahim, he slay a cow for the visitors, who they are the angel of Allah. But he noticed that those are they don't eat. I mean, he put the cow in front of them, and then they don't eat. And your prophet explained that, and he says angels don't eat. So, based on what you just said, the one who don't eat, he is God. For how, if he is God, why he eat? I'm just using your logic. Now, what you will say to me? You will say to me the angels are different creatures. Well, the angels are different creatures. That's wonderful. That's mean it's possible to be created, yet you don't eat, yet you are not God, so you are a hypocrite. Same time, if Jesus eat, that will not change the fact that Jesus can create from the mud the bird, the same as Adam was created. So how Jesus, who need to eat, he can breathe into the mud and give life? If I am a human like everybody, as you are Muslims trying to claim, because you hate Jesus, you are Antichrist, you and your filthy prophet, so you try to put Jesus down. So if Jesus is what you are saying, he is just normal human being, well, he will do what every normal human being do. He have no power over death and life. He have no power over creation. I mean, who is the one who can create? You will say to me, God. Says Jesus in the Quran says he created from the mother bird. You will say to me, by Allah leaves. And here now we will jump to this question. What is the proof of that? That is your claim. Somebody came 600 years after Jesus saying there is a God. The Jews never heard of him. His name is Allah. He is a moon God. And that God is the one who gave Jesus the permission. What if I told you that the president of North Korea, Mr. Kim Jong-un, he decided that he is the one who gave Jesus the power? And he have a book about it. So is that the proof? So you Muslims are very funny. And now we have a proof against you that Jesus is a creator, when supposedly only God can create. Jesus until now is alive, and nobody can live until now, thousands of years. And Jesus right now in heaven, and who is in heaven save Jesus? And Jesus can make the blind see. Jesus can tell you what you hide in your houses, which means he knows the unseen. And the Quran says, who knows the unseen save Allah? Huh? Who knows the unseen save Allah? Claim that he is the only who knows what is inside the woman belly. It take you $5 to know if your wife she have a baby or she have a goat. Chapter 9 verse number 78 says, وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَّامُ الْغُيُوبِ. Allah, he knows the unseen. But there is any proof? False proof. Muhammad, he told the Muslims that 100 of you will fight 1,000, which means 1 to 10. The Muslim, they went and they got a big screwdriver. So they came back to Muhammad and they told him, you told us a lie. And not only that, Muhammad actually, he saw a vision from Allah, and he told them the ones who was going to fight you tomorrow are very little. But when they went there, it was a huge number. So look what happened here. The Quran says in chapter 8 verse number 65 and chapter 8 66, and look how this God, he changed his numbers faster than Joe Biden. O people, O prophet, urge the believers to fight, to go and kill criminals, the gang. If there is 20 of you patient men, will overcome 200. If there is be 100 of you, will overcome 1,000. Very simple mathematics. 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Okay. The Muslim, they went and they got the biggest screwdriver in their ass. Right away, Muhammad, when they arrived, he heard the news that they got busted. So what he said to them? Now, listen, now Allah has lightened for you, okay, knowing that there was a weakness. Now, wait. Hold on. Now he knew that they have a weakness. And look at the false translation. Knowing. But in Arabic it says وَعَلِمَ, and he just found out. وَعَلِمَ. Now Allah what? عَلِمَ. الْآنَ خَفَفَ اللَّهُ عَنْكُمْ وَعَلِمَ. Allah, now he found out. Actually, this is why this sheikh from I forgot his name, the Muslim, they hate him now. You know, remember the sheikh who said that this verse doesn't make sense? Do you remember? He said this verse doesn't make sense. Somebody have a mistake. How Allah is, how it says Allah alima. Now he found out. So if we change the translation here, this is Arbery. Let us choose another idiot, Hilali Khan. Now Allah has lightened your task, for he knows that there is weakness. I mean, do you see the false translation? For he knows, or he just found out? You change the translator, because you see, just to show you how this doesn't make sense. Because if Allah knows that they have a weakness, and now he is lightening their task, so what the promise he made here? He made a promise. 100 of you can fight 1,000. Don't Allah knew at that moment when he gave them that they have weakness? So the verse after it says, now Allah he found out. Now he lightened your task, and now he found out, not knows. Not for he knows. And if you keep changing the translation, you might find somebody have little decency, which is very hard between Muslims. Let us see Itani. Look, knowing that there is a weakness, knowing, now knowing. Anyone who speaks Arabic, he knew that this is alima past tense. And because we added now, so this has just happened. الآن خفف الله عنكم وعلم. Now Allah, He lightened your task, and now He knew, or He found out, that you have a weakness. And here you ask yourself, what kind of God does God will have? So what the first promise was a false promise. And you will find that there's no difference between the group, the same group, you know. He found that there's a weakness now. So if there are 100 steadfast among you, will defeat 200. So the promise was 1 will defeat 10. Now the promise 1 will defeat 2. 1 to 2. So Muhammad looked like, you know, he looked at himself how much he is exaggerating with his lies. So he decided to fix it. You know, there's a guy, he always lie. Always love to lie. So his wife, she told him, you know, husband, when you know you always say embarrassing things. When we have visitors, you forget yourself. You start saying things that doesn't make sense, and obviously you are lying. He said, what I can do? I forget myself. Next time, when I make an exaggeration, just cough, okay? Like so this guy, as usual, he have visitors, and he told them yesterday, I build a building, it is 700 floor. How many floor? 700 floor. His wife, she start coughing. So the husband, he said, well, you know what? It is true, it's 700 floor, but the width of it was 10 centimeters. Supporting how he's fixing it. It's the width is 10 centimeter, okay? So it's 700 floor, but the width of the building, like he exaggerate with by the height, so now he's trying to fix it by the width. And this is the stupid Muhammad. And not to forget to mention, I mean, the Muslims, they are coming about God, and their God, the Quran says that Muhammad have 0 miracles. Isn't it your Quran keeps saying that Muhammad have 0 miracles? Isn't it the Quran says that the Arab keep saying why he don't even have one single, you know, miracle? Look at this. Why he don't give a miracle? Why he don't even give a miracle? Why he don't give a miracle? You know, like he don't have a miracle. You will notice that Mary right away she have a miracle. Zechariah right away have a miracle. All prophets of God in the Quran, they have miracles. Muhammad have none. And the funny, the Muslim, they will say to you, well, no, the Quran says that the Prophet Muhammad, he split the moon. If you go in the Quran, you will see that nowhere it says such a statement. In fact, in the same chapter, after that verse, it says Muhammad have no miracles. Let us read together. This was actually poetry Muhammad he stole from Imru al-Qais. Or what the Quran was saying, he was reporting, or Muhammad, reporting an eclipse. Here it says, look at this. The hour has drawn near and the moon split. And then he says, if they see a sign, they turn away. Well, what is the sign? What is the sign? First of all, Muhammad here, he fabricated a false prophecy. He said 1400 years ago that this moon split, and that is the judgment day is coming in the corner. In the corner. But nothing happened. And this was the eclipse. And there's tons of hadith about Muhammad. He go crazy when he see an eclipse. And then if they see a sign, they turn away and they say, this is a magic. That is the most funny thing is, because why the Quran don't say the story? Muhammad, he ordered the moon to split, and the moon is split. Secondly, Where is the moon, which is split? The Muslim, they have a picture from NASA. There's a valley in the moon, like a Grand Canyon, and they say, you see, this is the crack. My friend, you have a crack in your head. This is not split. Split means it became two pieces. When you split something, it means it's separated. It became two pieces. And if the moon have such a thing happen ever, all historians in the world, they will see it. At least all those who have the same time zone like Europe, they have the same as Saudi Arabia, especially Muhammad is in, close to Jeddah. So, the same time, like what is different between 1 hour, 2 hours? So those who live in UK, those who live in France, those who live in Greece, which is, Turkey today, the thief, Turkish, they took it. And we pray that the Lord will give it back. Those who live in Israel, those who live in Iraq, the Babylon, the Syrian, the Persian, nobody mentioned that ever there is something like this happen. Imagine suddenly the moon become two pieces. There's a Muslim, he have a beard. He said to apostate prophet, the reason nobody saw it because it was happened for a few seconds and everybody was asleep. It happened only for a few seconds, brother, okay? And everybody was asleep. I mean, do you see the miracle? By the way, yesterday, I split not only the moon, to be honest with you. I bought a cheese, and I said to myself, which one I split today? The moon, the cheese, the moon, the cheese, the moon, the cheese. I said, you know what? Splitting the cheese is not a big deal. I mean, what a big deal. It's so easy. So I decided to split the moon. So I took a picture of the moon, and then I got my Photoshop program, and I draw a crack, and I post it online, and that's it. And people, they ask me, we never saw that. Well, all of you were asleep. How you can see it? Secondly, the price of gas is expensive. How you can see the moon splitting? So the Muslim, they claim that when this miracle happened, the reason nobody in history reported anything like that, because everybody was asleep. So why Allah did the miracle when everybody is asleep? Everybody. I mean, everybody in Greece, everybody in Cyprus, everybody in Jordan, everybody in Syria, everybody in Israel, everybody in Rome, everybody in Persia, everybody is asleep. This is the God who do his business only when people are asleep. But then things get more complicated. Things get more complicated. Muhammad, he say, well, people, they accuse Noah to be a liar. But Noah, he have a proof of what he said. It happened. And then he quote what happened. This guy, he quote what happened to others, but he don't quote what happened to him. This guy, like a bald man, he's proud about the hair of the neighbor. So he start talking about miracles nobody even saw. Like as an example here, there's a she-camel. And by the way, this is all taken from a poetry. There's a rock, and the people, they say to the Prophet Saleh, can you make this rock camel and she is a pregnant? Like, what the heck? This is what they asked for? And Allah, he made the rock a camel, and she gave birth to 10-month-old pregnant. She's pregnant, brother. I mean, how come Allah, he can do all those things to everybody, but he cannot do it to Muhammad? And look, the funny thing is that those people, they were enjoying this camel who can give milk to everybody, and then they kill it, brother. So Allah destroyed them. How Allah destroyed them? He screamed, single cry, Allah Akbar. Everybody is dead. This is the nuke of Allah. But if there is a single book in the history speak of such a story ever happened, that there is people who have a rock, and the rock became a camel, and the camel later they killed the one. And why they want to kill the camel? So Allah, he screamed, and then all of them, they die. And then he start quoting for them. I mean, this guy is trying to scare them. He don't have miracles. And then do you remember what happened to Lut? Do you happen what happened to Lut? Okay, huh? They denied the warning. Okay, why you don't do the same? Look, Muhammad, he told the Christians, when he is alive, not when he's dead for sure, because Muhammad, when he's dead, he don't talk, he fought only. As Ibn Abbas, he said, bury your friend, he is farting, he stink. So look what Muhammad, he said. He said to the Christians and the Jews, believe in me, Allah said to you, before we erase your faces and your eyebrows and your mouth. Okay, here we go. Noah, he made a threat to his people about, he made a warning, he will have a flooding. The flooding happened. Lut, we have the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. It happened. Muhammad, he promised the Christian and the Jews, if they don't believe in him, Allah will make them, he will erase their faces. I mean, look at this. I don't know how to describe this for you. Okay, I think I need to use some skills here. Give me a second. This is a Muslim sheikh. So what Muhammad is threatening to do? What Muhammad exactly is threatening to do? He is threatening to erase. No eyes. No mouth. And not only that, he will make their mouth in the back of their head. No eyebrows. And he will make the location in the back of their head. So Muhammad, he made a threat. How come all the other prophets, they made the threat or the warning and it happened? But Muhammad, the threat never happened. Have you ever seen a Jew or a Christian, Allah, he erased his face and his eyes and his eyebrows and he made his mouth in the back and backward of his back head? Isn't it obvious? And not only that, if a Muslim, he might say to you, oh, no, this is not now, this is in the day of judgment. Potato. You see, you need to tell your prophet how to lie. Look what the Quran says. The Quran says now. Because he said to them, the same as we did to the people who broke the Sabbath. Allah, he cursed them and he made them pigs and monkeys. And by the way, who in the world can prove such a story? That the pigs one day, they did, sorry, the Jews one day, they did fishing in Saturday and Allah, he cursed them, made them pigs and monkeys. And look at this God. If you fish in Saturday, he make you a pig or a monkey. But if you rape a child like Muhammad, no. If you rape a woman, no. If you steal, no. But if you fish, Allah will make you a pig, brother. I mean, you see, it makes sense, isn't it? It makes a lot of sense. If you do fishing, Allah will make you a pig. If you rape a child, Allah don't move. And what is the proof that the Jews become pigs and monkeys? Nothing. Muhammad making a story. This idiot, he heard the story, the Jews, they tell it to the children. The children, the Jews, in order to tell to teach their children to be like, you know, to fear God, not to disobey. So they tell them fiction stories, like, you know, there is a group of people, they did. So Muhammad, he took the story, he put in the Quran. Idiot. It's for kids. And what make it even more funny, that the story about the pigs or the Jews who become pigs in the Quran, they themselves, they were obeying the Sabbath, but Allah, he hide the fish from them, brother. And he make the fish come to them only in Saturday, brother. Like, what the heck? Chapter 7, verse number 163. the story as told by so-called Allah. Ask them concerning the town. Like, ask who? What's wrong with you? Nobody heard this story. Which Jewish books? Ask them concerning the town standing close by the sea. Behold, they transgressed in the matter of Sabbath. For on the day of their Sabbath, the fish don't what the heck? What happened? For on the day of their Sabbath, their fish did come to them openly, holding up their heads. We are here. But on the day they had no Sabbath, they come out, he come not. Thus we make a trial for them. So Allah, He is making the fish come only in Saturday, brother. And what the fish they do? They jump above the water and they do belly dancing. Isn't this is beautiful? So this is the ocean. And this is the fish. It's a red fish. So this fish, brother, she put her head out of the water. And she have a cigar from Cuba. And she's smoking. And the Jews are angry, and the fish, like, you know, she is smoking cigar, you know, and the Jews, what they can do? It's Sabbath. They are hungry, brother. Allah is making the fish come above the water, dancing in the top of the water, smoking cigarette, and they can do nothing about it. I mean, isn't it, this is really disgusting, brother? So those Jews, they could not take it no more. All right? So the Muslims, they found that Jesus cannot be God because he eat food of Muhammad and his God are not making Allah not God for sure. So Muhammad, he threatened the Christians, if they do convert to Islam, Allah will erase their faces. And brother, you should see my face. Unbelievable. My mouth now in the back of my head. But Jesus, who can make from the mud the bird for them, is not God. This anyone can do that. Oh, Allah, he gave him the power. But look now what happened when the Muslim, they say Allah gave him the power. It doesn't matter. Jesus have the power. So now we have two creators. You like it or not, even the Quran says, Jesus, he said, I breathe into him. Who is the one do the breathing? Jesus. So the silly Muhammadan, when they try to come with their logic, we die with their logic. I wish I was a Jew at that time. And by the way, I have a neighbor, he is a Jew. I saw him in Saturday going fishing. This was many years ago. I cannot bring him here to talk to you because now he is in the zoo. I saw him Saturday in the morning. He was taking his fishing rod. I told him, Jack Shalom, where are you going, man? He said, hey, Christian Prince, I'm going to do fishing. You want to come with me? I said, what? Today is Sabbath, man. Do you know what would happen to you? He said, come on, do you believe Prophet Muhammad? He is a false prophet. Come on, you want to believe him? So Jack Shalom, he took his fishing rod, you know, and he went. Now, to be honest with you, in the beginning, I don't believe Muhammad. He's true prophet, you know. Let me tell you my story now, how I converted to Islam. Okay? So I did not, I laughed with him. I said, you are right. That's really impossible. But then when Jack Shalom, brother, come back home after a long day of fishing, I could not believe what I saw. Jack Shalom, he opened the car door. He did not notice yet, by the way. He did not notice. So I said to him, hey, what the heck? Who are you? He said, look, what the heck? I look, he have a watch in his hand. This is, oh man, this is the watch of Jack Shalom. Why the monkey have the watch of Jack Shalom? I start asking questions. You know me, I ask questions all the time. So I look here, he have smartwatch made by Taliban Apple's company, So I said to myself, why he have I said to him, the monkey, hey monkey, where you get this watch, man? The monkey, he start jumping, and then he point his hand at his ass. And I look, and Jack Shalom, he was wearing jeans. It's called Levi's. Brother, he was wearing Levi's too. I start getting suspicious. Jack Shalom, his eyes were green. I look at the monkey. Man, they look the same. Jack Shalom have no teeth. I look at his mouth. He have 0 teeth. Maybe I should tell you the story from the beginning. Jack Shalom, he lost his teeth since he have very big and beautiful mother-in-law. She smashed his mouth one day, and he lost all his teeth. It was just one done deal. And then I didn't know what to do. Call the ambulance, call his family, call his mother-in-law. So I decided, okay, I'm going to call his wife. So I called his wife. I told her, your husband, he became a monkey. She says, are you kidding me? All his life is a monkey. I said, no, listen, I'm serious. This time, he really become a monkey. She said, listen, my neighbor, mind your business. I know are you saying that my husband now is doing the monkey business, sleeping with other women? I said, not exactly. He literally become a monkey. She said to me, trust me, I know him. Literally, he is a monkey. Just give him a banana. What the heck? She didn't understand what's happening. So I took I took a picture for her husband, and I sent it to her. She said to me, is that your son? What the heck? I said, what do you mean this is my son?